So sad, the news coming from Jos. Very sad. We have seen the video. Wow. So many people. They buy so many people yesterday evening. So many people gone just like that. Just like that. In a state where they collect security votes, in a state where they have resources to protect their people, people just buy like chicken. Even in animal farm, you cannot buy so many goats and rams. Just like that, Abba is not done anywhere in the world. The sad part of it is the governor that controls their resources and their security vote was unable to go yesterday evening. He had to wait till this morning to get armor tank to go there. He couldn't even come out of armor tank. Someone that is controlling your money couldn't come out of armor tank. He's scared, like, no, I can't come out. He's saying, keep quiet, let me talk. This is a fresh style of slavery. Even though the colonial masters are gone, but we are now under a new style of slavery, Agbada slavery. This is a sad news for any well-thinking, well-meaning Nigerians. You yourself think, you that you are abroad, think. The governor couldn't go yesterday evening. He had to wait for Harmattan. Our president was busy in Aso Rock celebrating his birthday. His son that wants his father to come back, that has been arranging city boys, could not gather his city boys together to go this morning to go and visit the people. Very dark man that does not have security votes, that doesn't have security, that doesn't have convoy, was even there before the governor.
All right, so we are at Youth Mortuary, where the corpses of the people that were attacked at Angwan Rukuba were brought in, over 20-something of them. I counted at least 28. 29. So at least 29 persons were brought in here. So the government said they are not going to be doing a mass burial, that they will be burying them individually to give them the respect. I saw pregnant women. I saw a lot of young persons, older persons that were killed. So this man was present there yesterday. So he's going to give us an account of what happened. So my brother, please, in details, please be precise.
Now, as at about 7:45 p.m. yesterday night, I was driving down from Bauchi Road going to Lamingo. And then as soon as I got to the Angwan Kuba, I saw some men, on machine, about 4 to 5 machines. And then they started shooting. And as soon as I realized that it was, a heavy gunshot, I had to quickly try as much as possible to park where I'll be safe. And then from there, I started, getting the account of actually what happened. And I realized that so many people were actually shot dead, to the extent that even someone who actually entered a particular shop where that was actually in shop to hide, they still went there and gunned him down. And if you go to the shop presently, you realize that there are gunshots, on the shop. Now, why people actually ran was because it was believed that it was NDLEA. Because sometimes when NDLEA comes there, maybe possibly to make arrests, they shoot. And that was why all the youth actually ran. Because believing that Angwan Kuba youth are not youth that does not know their rights. But considering the fact that, NDLEA had been coming there before, they thought it was a normal arrest and then they ran. And that was why the casualties was actually much. And that was why the culprits also were able to, to escape. So as at that yesterday night, some were actually taken to the hospital, some of the victims, and some that actually died immediately, were left there. And why they were left there was because everybody was agitating that taking them to the hospital, there might be, a report of saying it is just one person. And while, the victims were much, or the dead were much.
So the people that you saw, yes, what were they wearing?
The people that came were actually wearing this, some of them wore like a camouflage, and then some of them also were using this their turban, and some of them, one of them was actually shouting, is it Andro, something like that.
NDLA.
No, not NDLA. Endro. That is in Fulani language now. Yes, you know that they should pull back and stuff like that. So
the camouflage that they were wearing, what type of camouflage was it?
It was not actually a direct green and black camouflage, but it was black and a little bit deep green.
Did you see the type of gun that they were holding?
Actually, they were actually using AK-45. AK-47, sorry. Yeah. Yeah. And that was why, if you go to, why I said so, is because if you go to the scene where I said they actually entered the shop and gone down, you realize that there is even a gunshot, you know, on the wall. So if it were a normal gun, you know, the gun will not penetrate and even give a hole to the door, because the door is actually a steel wall, not actually
the people I saw.
Yes.
The bodies I saw.
Yeah.
It's not all of them that were carrying bullets home.
Yes.
So how is it possible that they come down at some point to start using cutlass?
Yes, it came down at some point to start using cutlass. In fact, we have accounts of like 2-3 people that you see cutlass on their head directly. The videos are there, you know, to show the evidence of what actually happened. Now, there is one thing that actually baffled me in the whole situation. Now, the police, we've always been hearing that police are friends. And in that particular spot, there's a police station. So even the police station actually ran for their life. These are police that actually they are armed. So we believe that they should have, in one way or the other, even if they were unable to arrest, at least they should have a, you know, a contact of gunshot. But even they themselves had to close down the list and they ran away. So it means that our security is on question mark in this country.
Well, it's quite unfortunate what happened. And like I said, personally, I am not a journalist, so I'm not aggressive on the journalist. I also believe that we all have the capability to do what they are doing. There's no monopoly in buying people. There's actually no monopoly in it. Yesterday was a very significant day in the Christian calendar. Yesterday was Palm Sunday. In the Christian calendar, that is when the Christians feast and wait for the resurrection of Jesus Christ, which is next Sunday. Next Sunday is Easter, which is the resurrection of Jesus Christ. So doing that thing yesterday was barbaric. This same thing happened on Saturday in Borno State. A lot of people were also killed. Now, it's quite unfortunate that the Minister of Defense, Christopher Musa, I was surprised when I saw him on the campaign ground, that the Minister of Defense was supposed to be strategizing with the amount of insecurity we have in Nigeria. You are campaigning? That is the most craziest thing. I lost hope. And I watched an interview from the minister, from the Chief of Army Staff, I think, where he was saying that they can't be killing the terrorists because just the way he said it, he said like a prodigal son, that they can come back home and they will be forgiven. If you keep forgiving them, if there's no penalty for the atrocity that they commit, they will keep on committing. So what do we do? My advice to Nigerians and the people of Okuba: do not let this repeat itself. You have a lot of boys, mobilize, strategize, and protect your community. Nothing more. All of us, they are our body. Don't be only them to do this one. That's all we can say. To the youth of Okuba, see, they are bringing bodies. So this is a cause.
Inside the car, man. There's people
Yeah, see, go there, go to the
people inside. Inside the car.
You can say anything.
Now, you see, before now,
It's okay, it's okay.
before now, there've been, you know, different records. Before now, there've been different records that are circulated, you know, in one place or the other, that after the Salah, they will come for the attack. And we believe that the security architecture is supposed to have a proactive measure based on the record.
Yes, because I heard there was an info that
Yes,
these people, they put out a word that they will do this attack.
Yes.
And then it eventually happened and nothing happened. There was no measures that was put on ground.
My people, do they have to open your brain to let you know you are under a new slave trade, colonization by Agbada people? My people, I think it is time to summon the courage to vote these people out. It is time to stand up to them, not by violence, to say enough is enough. Someone that is controlling your resources couldn't even come out of armored tank. Someone that is controlling your resources, they are dancing in the villa, while your children, your husband, your father, your daughters, your aunties, your brothers are buying like chicken. Wake up, Nigeria.